Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first lesson in your new book, Integers 2. It's a yellow book, and we're going to lesson 1. So you're starting on your word bank. So when it says difference, it means you subtract or minus or take away. And when we subtract, the order matters. So the order matters how you subtract, and the answer might be different. And usually you subtract, the larger number is first, and then you take away the smaller number. That's how it usually is. Okay, order matters, how you subtract. Okay, but it's a takeaway. So for example, 5 minus 3, the difference is 2. So integers are all whole numbers including 0, including negative numbers. So for example, this is how you show it. So you start out, let's say we have a number line. So your integers would be 0, 1, oops, all the whole numbers on the number line, 2, 3, and then you can keep going, and you can keep going by showing it with a dot, dot, dot. And then on the left side of 0, you have your negative numbers, your integers, and they go in that direction forever. So the arrows indicate you keep going in that direction. And you can show it by going dot, dot, dot. So this side has the smaller numbers, this has the larger. So as you go to the right, the numbers get larger. As you go to the left, the numbers get smaller. Okay. Negative numbers are less than 0. They're on the left side over here. So the symbol would be less than 0. Yeah, your negative numbers, let's put that here. Less than 0. To the left of 0 on the number line. Okay, and the symbol is a minus. That's a negative number. So this would be -5. Yeah, because or you owe $5. Yeah, if you owe money, you're in the negative. Yeah. Okay, and positive numbers are greater than 0. And to the right of 0 on the number line. And the symbol is a plus, but we don't usually write +5. It's just assumed, or simply 5. If it doesn't have a symbol, it's a positive, it's plus. We can say +5. Yeah, in money, we said we have $5. Okay. Sum is when you add numbers. So I'll come up with 6 plus 4. The sum is 10. So this is the sum. Okay. And a zero pair is when we have counters, which I'll show you in a minute what counters are. A plus and a minus is a zero pair because they add up to 0. Yeah, sum is always 0. So for example, if you have -2 plus 2, the answer is 0. This is a zero pair, a positive and a negative number added together. Okay, so those are the notes, and then we're moving on. This was page 0. We're moving on. I want you to skip this for right now, but we will do this in class. So I'll put in class on top. I'm gonna have you all do that. And now we're on page 2. This one, I want you to write notes. Using counters to represent integers. So in a second, I'm going to explain what counters are. We already know integers are whole numbers, included 0, including negative. Circle all the numbers below that are integers. I want you to look at that and decide which ones are. It always helps to pause a video if you need to. These are not. And do it yourself and then click forward and see if mine matches. Okay, so you should have circled these and not 1.5, not 1/2, and not that. These are all not integers, whole numbers, including 0, including negative numbers. For problems 3 to 5, number all the remaining tick marks. Okay, so your clue is this. We're going up from 0 to the next one, it's -6. So you're going by 6s, right? So what's missing here? 0, blank, 12, the half would be 6. We're going up by 6s each time, right? And then that would be 18. So it's the multiple of 6s, 24, 30. This is called a number line. 0 divides the positive numbers and the negative numbers. -18, -24. Yeah. And now here we don't have 0, but there's a clue, -25, +100. Ooh, let's see. Somewhere between here and here is 0. Let's try. If I go by 5s, it will make it -20. Nope, I'm gonna go by 25s. So if I go by 25s, then a 0 goes here, 25 goes here. 50, it has to be even. They're evenly spaced, so your number increments have to be even. You can't skip around, yeah? So this would be 125. So I'm adding 25 for each space, and then going this way, it's negatives. -75, -100. Okay, so that's number line problems. Now these symbols right here, this means equal. Whoops. Equal. And then less than. So the open mouth always points towards the bigger number, and this is greater than. So if you ever heard of the crocodile in other math classes, the crocodile opens the mouth and eats the bigger number. Yeah, the bigger number gets eaten up. Okay, but write it down anyways, and now you decide which number is bigger. As we go to the right, the numbers get bigger. We go to the left of 0, the numbers get smaller. So that's the clue, okay, on the number line. So negative 12 is less than positive 12. So 12 is bigger, it gets eaten by the crocodile. Negative 6 and negative 18. Negative 6 is here, negative 18 is here. This is bigger than that. So that has to be the bigger number, even so it looks like this is smaller, but because it's on the negative side, you have to think opposite. 25 is greater. 25 is over here. Negative 50 is way down here. 25 is bigger. Negative 125 is less than 50. 50 is bigger. Negative 17 is greater than negative 29. Absolute value of negative 5 is positive 5. The absolute value of negative 25 is positive 25. So we have to replace these. So that's less. 5 is less than 25. Negative, negative 3, 2 double negatives become a positive. So that's positive 3. The absolute value of negative 3 is positive 3, but that negative stays. So this is a little tricky. Here you have a double negative, here you don't. You take the absolute value first and keep the negative. 7 minus 2 is 5, keep it negative. 7 minus 2 is also 5, keep it negative. That's an equal. Okay. Over here, what do we do? Oh, we still have to fill in number 5. So that's a vertical number line. So I'm going to put that word here, vertical number line. This is called horizontal. Why? Because when you look out over the ocean and you see the horizon, this is the ocean right there, horizontal. Okay, I want you guys to think, where would the 0 be? Somewhere between 12 and negative 8. And we have to figure out how much are we going up or down? How about if we go by 4s? That I'm just experimenting. Don't copy me yet. This could be 0, 4, 8. So I found it on the first try. I went by 4s. That would be negative 12, negative 16, negative 20. And up here it would be 16. So here are the bigger numbers, and then they get to 0, and then these are the smaller numbers. They get smaller as you go down this way. All right. So that was page 2, and now page 3, I believe it is. Yep. Now we're talking about counters. Counter model help us to decide if the answer is what the answer looks like. A positive counter has a value of 1 and looks like this. Build a value of 2 and draw it here. Well, 2 would have 2 of these. That's 2. A negative counter has a value of negative 1 and looks like this. Build a value of 2 and draw it here. You have 2 negatives. Yeah. A 0 pair, this is important, has a value of 0 and looks like this. You have a positive and a negative. These always cancel each other out. Okay? Cancel each other out. Build 2 0 pairs and draw them here. Well, if I have 2 0 pairs, I have to have 2 pluses and 2 minuses. This is a value of 0. They cancel each other out. Okay? Use counters to build the number 3 in 3 different ways and draw it here. So the first one is easy. You just have 3 positives. Okay, another way could be you always want the 3 positives, but then you can add any 0 pair you want because these cancel out and you still are left with 3. You start out with your 3 that you need, and then you can add as many 0 pairs as you want because these will go away. They cancel each other out and you're left with 3. Okay. Use counters to build -3 in 3 different ways. Well, the first way is easy. You just have 3 negatives. The second one, you keep your 3 negatives and you can add 1 0 pair because those are gone. Then you can add 2 0 pairs or as many as you want. As long as you have 0 pairs, it's going to be the value is 3, right? Because these are gone. Hope that makes sense. Now let's try to build a value of 0 using 4 counters. I made up these numbers, okay? So I need 4 counters and I want to have an answer of 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a value of 0 using 4 counters, correct? Build a value of 0 using 8 counters. Try it yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a value of 0, all 0 pairs. Build a value of 1 using 5 counters. Okay, you want a value of 1, you start out with 1. But now you have to have 5 counters, so you can use 0 pairs. Use 0 pairs. Okay, so remember we want that 1 to start with. These all cancel each other out. But you have 5 counters. Build a value of -1 using 5 counters. Okay, so start out with a negative and then you have to add 0 pairs to get to the 5 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, value of -1. Value of 4 using 8 counters. So it's a +4. So you start out with a +4 and then you have to add 0 pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. By the way, if you don't have a sign in front of the number, the sign being plus or minus, it's assumed, then it's assumed to be positive. And build a value of -4 using 10 counters. Start out with your -4. And then you have to figure out how many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is this assignment on page 3, and now you got to do it yourself for homework. So on this page, page 4, you're doing the same thing for homework. Okay, build a value of 5 using the least possible number of counters. So this goes right here. Okay, and then you draw it out. Build a value of -6 using the least number possible counters, and so on and so forth. Okay. The combination of 1 positive and 1 negative counter is called a 0 pair. And then you cannot do number 2 until we do the activity in class, okay? But you do later, after activity in class. Then you can answer this sentence. But you can fill all this in. Okay, so this page is homework, and then is this it? This is the answer, or this is the lesson already? Yep, that's it. We're done with lesson 1 already. So that was short, and then we'll start next time here. Okay, have a good day, guys.